Good morning, Spartans. Hey, this is Mr. Grow here to talk to you about a few things about at least our first 3 days of school or first week and a half of school. Just want to say we are so excited to have you here. It feels like school, and like I said, we're very excited, but there are a few things we want to go over. One, of course, would be kind of those general rules that you really talk about normally when you come in August. So in August, when we come in, we talk about hoods and hats. So for us, we've kind of said, hey, a great hat is fine to wear in our school. So obviously, middle school appropriate, those sorts of things, but a hat is okay. But as we move forward, we're going to have those hoods off. One of the ways I look at it is when we were in distance learning is when you had your camera off. Well, when you have your hood on at school, you have your mask here and you have your hood on. It's like having your camera off. And we're going to say hoods off inside Lincoln Middle School as we move forward. And obviously staff will come up to you and be kind and say, hey, please take off your hood. But it's one of those things that we just want to make sure is always having those cameras on, especially at school. In talking about entry in the morning, you'll notice if you get dropped off in the morning in the front, the first thing I might say to you, or some of our staff will say to you, is have you completed your wellness? One of those easy ways to do that would be if you had the app on your phone and answered those questions. You could show us that check mark on your phone and you'd get an easy fast pass on the way into school. If you already completed it but did not have it on your phone, we'll double check no matter what. But it does extend the process a little bit. So please make sure to fill out your wellness. If you do arrive before 8:05, we are taking you into the building, but we do have to put you in a classroom. And that classroom would be really down the 8th grade hallway near Mr. Volmer's class, Miss Lineweber's class, Mrs. Jones' class. You get the idea. Really what we're trying to do is make sure kids are in a central spot before 8:05 when the bell rings, and then they can head off to their first period class. Remember, bell rings at 8:05, but the dismissal at the end of the day, we've staggered a little bit. We've had our 6th grade leaving at 2:47, 7th grade at 2:50, and 8th grade around 2:53, and that's worked out very well, especially for buses and spreading people out 6 feet socially distanced. So one of the issues that we're having currently on dismissal is that everybody is coming out that front door by the office. We'd really like you to be able to go out both of those front doors, over by Mr. Rules and the restrooms over there. You can head out those doors as well, so try to spread some things out. And once you are waiting for parents out front, please make sure 6 feet social distance and keep those masks on. Speaking of masks, we do want to say thank you. That's been an amazing thing that you've done throughout this first week and a half. You've kept those masks on over the top of your nose. We appreciate it. Keep up the great work. And it takes a lot of getting used to, along with the adults as well. So we want to make sure that we're in it with you and keep doing the amazing things that you're doing. In the hallways, you'll notice how we have one-way hallways. You guys are doing a great job keeping on the one way. One of the things we'll continue to remind you of is we'll say 6 feet, 6 feet, 6 feet. And that's the idea of just make sure you're keeping your distance from others as you're walking to and from class. It does look a little bit different. Sometimes it does take a little bit longer, but it's super important that you keep up the great work there. And now in talking to our distance students who on this Thursday will be in this first period class, really what we're going to ask for you is to get ready for school. We're doing school now. This is not just distance learning. So when you have a first period class, get yourself ready for school and get yourself ready to go. And really what we're going to tell you is have your cameras on. We want to be able to see you, and so we're going to tell you, hey, you need to have that camera on. I know a number of you, especially in FMS class and so on, are showing off what you're doing at home. We're going to ask the same thing of you in all classes. So please make sure have those cameras on. It just looks different right now. We're not all distance learning. We're not all starting class at 12 o'clock in the afternoon. So please make sure, again, have those cameras on at home. And lastly, we're going to tell you, if your teacher has not asked you yet, this first period class, how many people are getting school lunch? And they have yet to ask you, please make sure to tell your teacher, hey, we got to get those lunch counts in to our kitchen staff because it's so important. That makes it so much easier for our kitchen staff to get to your lunch classrooms in a timely manner. That would be about it. All I'm saying is it's great to have our Spartans back. You can't believe how excited we are to see you every day. And we see it in your faces and that you're excited as well. So again, thanks and go Spartans.